In this video, we're going to talk about something that could quietly save your life, the warning signs your legs and feet give when your heart is in trouble. Many older adults in the United States live with heart problems without realizing it, because the first symptoms often don't appear in the chest, they show up down in your legs and feet. You might notice swelling around your ankles, cold or numb toes, or feel your shoes getting tighter by the evening. Most people think these changes are just part of aging or being on their feet too long, but that's not always true. In this video, I'll explain 12 leg and foot symptoms that doctors say can reveal hidden heart trouble, long before you feel chest pain or shortness of breath. I'll also share how you can recognize these signs early and what steps to take to protect your heart health. Before we start, I'd love to know, where are you watching from today? Just drop your state or city in the comments below. And if you have any natural health tips of your own, feel free to share those too. Someone else might really benefit from hearing what's worked for you. 1. Cold feet that never warm up. Let's start with one of the earliest and most overlooked signs, cold feet that just won't warm up, no matter how many socks you wear or how long you sit under a blanket. Many seniors blame it on age, thin skin, or even poor room heating, but the truth can be deeper than that. When your heart starts to weaken, it faces a tough decision, where to send the limited blood it can still pump. Your body naturally gives priority to vital organs like your heart, lungs, brain, and kidneys, and your feet end up last on the list. That's why, even when the rest of your body feels normal, your feet might stay icy cold. It's not that your socks aren't thick enough, it's that your heart isn't sending enough warm, oxygen-rich blood all the way down to your toes. Doctors call this reduced cardiac output, and it's often one of the first clues that circulation isn't keeping up with your body's needs. Here's how to notice the difference. If your feet feel cold once in a while and warm up when you walk or move around, that's usually fine. But if they stay cold all the time, even when you're active or cozy, it's a sign to pay attention. Especially if your hands feel fine but your feet are always cold, that's your heart quietly asking for help. 2. Swelling in your ankles. Now let's talk about another sign that often goes unnoticed, swelling around your ankles or feet, especially by the end of the day. Many older adults think it's just because they've been standing or sitting too long, but if that swelling keeps coming back or doesn't go away overnight, it may be your heart struggling to keep up. Here's what happens inside your body. When the heart can't pump blood efficiently, it causes a sort of traffic jam in your circulation. The blood begins to back up in your veins, especially in the lower part of your body where gravity naturally pulls it down. This extra pressure pushes fluid out of your blood vessels and into the tissues around your ankles and feet, creating that puffiness or tightness you can actually see and feel. Doctors call this edema, and it's one of the most common early signs of right-sided heart failure. You can do a simple check at home. Press your finger firmly against the swollen area for about 10 seconds. If you see a small dent or pit that stays for a few seconds before the skin returns to normal, that's what's known as pitting edema. It's not just a little swelling, it's a message from your body that something deeper is going on. 3. Sudden leg weakness. Have you noticed your legs feeling heavier or weaker than before, even when you haven't done anything unusual? Maybe climbing stairs suddenly feels harder, or walking a short distance makes your legs feel tired or shaky. Many older adults assume this is just a part of getting older, but often, it's a sign that your muscles aren't receiving enough oxygen and nutrients because your heart isn't pumping blood efficiently. When your heart starts to weaken, it can't deliver enough oxygen-rich blood to your leg muscles. As a result, the muscles don't get the energy they need to work properly. Over time, they actually begin to lose some of their strength at a deeper, cellular level. Researchers have found that people with heart failure often have reduced muscle proteins, which means their muscles can't contract or recover the way they used to. You might notice this weakness during simple daily tasks, like standing up from a chair, walking to the mailbox, or carrying groceries. Your legs may even feel like they've run out of fuel halfway through an activity that used to be easy for you. 4. Rapid weight gain. If you ever step on the scale and notice that you've gained several pounds within just a few days, especially 5 or more, it's important not to ignore it. This kind of sudden weight gain isn't about eating too much or skipping your walks. It usually means your body is holding onto extra fluid because your heart isn't circulating blood as it should. When the heart grows weaker, it struggles to move blood and fluids through the body efficiently. As a result, fluid starts building up in your tissues, often settling in your legs, ankles, and feet. This is your body's way of saying, "I can't keep up." The Mayo Clinic identifies rapid weight gain as one of the clearest warning signs that heart failure may be worsening, and it should always be taken seriously. You might notice your socks feeling tighter, your pants fitting differently, or your shoes becoming snug even though your eating habits haven't changed. This extra fluid can make your legs feel heavy and stiff, and in some cases, your stomach may also feel bloated or full. Here's a simple way to track it: weigh yourself at the same time each morning. If you notice your weight climbing by more than 2 or 3 pounds overnight or 5 pounds in a week, call your healthcare provider. It's not fat, it's fluid, and it means your heart needs attention. Acting early could prevent the fluid from building up further and causing serious complications. 5. Bluish or dusky legs. Have you ever looked down at your legs and noticed that they looked pale, bluish, or dull in color, almost like they'd lost their warmth and life? This change isn't just cosmetic or poor circulation. It can be a visible warning that your heart isn't delivering enough oxygen-rich blood to your lower body. Doctors call this condition cyanosis, and it's one of the clearest outward signs that your circulation is struggling. 6. Persistent ankle swelling. If you find that your ankles or lower legs swell up almost every day, and the swelling doesn't go away even after resting, it's time to pay attention. Occasional puffiness from standing too long or eating salty food is normal, but persistent ankle swelling is often one of the earliest and clearest signs that your heart is struggling to pump blood effectively. Here's what's really happening: when your heart's pumping power weakens, blood doesn't move through your veins as smoothly as it should. This causes a backup, much like traffic slowing down after an accident, and pressure starts building up inside your blood vessels. That extra pressure pushes fluid out of your veins and into the surrounding tissues, especially around your ankles, because gravity naturally pulls fluid downward. Over time, you might notice your socks leaving deep marks on your skin or your shoes feeling tighter than usual by evening. At first, the swelling might seem mild and come and go, but as heart function weakens, it becomes more constant and harder to ignore. Doctors often consider this kind of swelling, especially when it doesn't ease overnight or after elevation, a strong indicator of heart failure progression. It's your body's way of saying, the system is overloaded. So if your ankles feel heavy, tight, or swollen, and especially if the swelling appears daily, don't brush it off. 7. Slow healing wounds. Have you ever had a small cut or sore on your leg or foot that seemed to take forever to heal? Maybe weeks go by and it still looks the same, or even worse. For many older adults, this isn't just slow healing that comes with age. It can be a sign that your heart isn't sending enough oxygen and nutrients to those areas for proper recovery. When your heart can't pump blood efficiently, your body struggles to deliver the vital elements needed for healing, like oxygen, white blood cells, and nutrients. Without these, even a tiny scratch can turn into a stubborn sore that lingers. Researchers have found that people with heart failure often experience tissue hypoxia, which means the skin and muscles simply aren't getting enough oxygen to repair themselves. You might notice that small injuries, like a scratch from your shoe or a scrape from bumping your leg, just don't heal the way they used to. Sometimes, the area may stay red, dry, or scabbed for weeks. This happens because your immune system and healing process both depend heavily on good blood flow, and when circulation slows down, everything takes longer. If you're seeing slow healing sores or skin that breaks easily on your lower legs or feet, don't ignore it. It's not a skin problem, it's a circulation problem, and your heart may be the reason. 8. Leg cramps or pain while walking. Have you ever started walking and suddenly felt your calves or thighs tighten up or ache until you had to stop and rest? You might have thought, maybe I'm just out of shape, but this kind of pain, known as claudication, can actually be a sign that your heart and blood flow are struggling to keep up. When your heart isn't pumping blood efficiently, your muscles don't get the oxygen they need, especially during activity. At rest, your legs might feel fine. But as soon as you start walking or climbing stairs, the demand for oxygen rises, and your weakened circulation can't meet it. That's when pain, tightness, or cramping sets in. Once you stop and rest, the pain eases, but it often returns when you start moving again. This cycle is more than just uncomfortable, it's a signal that your circulatory system is under stress. Studies have shown that this symptom is common in people with heart failure or peripheral circulation problems. Over time, it can limit your ability to stay active, leading to more weakness and fatigue. If your legs cramp or ache often when you walk, it's important not to dismiss it as just getting older. It's your body warning you that your heart and muscles aren't getting the oxygen-rich blood they need. A doctor can check your circulation and help prevent this from worsening. Listening to these small signs early can make a big difference in keeping your independence and mobility strong. 9. Restless legs at night. Have you ever gone to bed feeling exhausted, only to find your legs won't stay still? Maybe they twitch, tingle, or feel like they're crawling inside, and no matter how much you stretch or change positions, the feeling just won't stop. Many older adults blame this on nerves or aging, but in reality, restless legs at night can be linked to heart problems, especially heart failure. Here's why it happens. During the day, when you're standing or sitting, fluid tends to collect in your legs and feet because of gravity. But when you finally lie down to rest, that fluid starts to move back up toward your upper body and circulatory system. If your heart is already struggling to manage blood flow, this sudden shift of fluid can irritate the nerves in your legs, causing strange sensations or an uncontrollable urge to move. Researchers have found that nearly 78% of people with heart failure experience some form of restless leg sensations, often worse at night when they're trying to sleep. This can make it difficult to get proper rest, leaving you tired, anxious, and frustrated the next day. If your legs seem to come alive at night or you constantly need to move them to feel better, don't ignore it. It's not just a sleep issue, it could be your heart's way of showing stress from fluid buildup and poor circulation. 10. Worsening varicose veins. If you've had varicose veins for years and suddenly notice they're getting larger, darker, or more painful, that's not just a cosmetic issue, it could be a warning sign that your heart is under pressure. Varicose veins form when the tiny valves inside your leg veins weaken, allowing blood to flow backward and pool instead of moving smoothly toward your heart. When heart function declines, it causes a backup of blood throughout your circulatory system, especially in the lower body. This extra pressure stretches those already weakened veins, making them bulge and twist even more. You might notice new veins appearing, existing ones becoming more swollen, or your legs feeling heavy and sore by evening. For many older adults, this change happens gradually, so it's easy to overlook. But doctors now know that a sudden worsening of varicose veins can point to underlying heart or circulation problems. 11. Shiny or thin skin on your legs. Take a moment to look closely at your lower legs or feet. Does your skin look shiny, stretched, or thinner than before? Maybe it feels tighter, smoother, or even slightly fragile to the touch. Many people think this is just part of aging, but these subtle skin changes often point to fluid buildup from poor circulation and heart strain. Here's what's really happening. When your heart struggles to pump blood efficiently, fluid begins to leak out of your blood vessels and collect in the surrounding tissues. Over time, that trapped fluid stretches your skin from the inside. Just like a balloon that's been overinflated, your skin becomes taut and glossy. This stretching also flattens your skin's natural texture. Those tiny pores and fine lines disappear, giving it that shiny, almost waxy look. Because of this constant pressure, the skin can grow thin and delicate, making it easier to bruise, tear, or develop sores. Doctors often recognize this as a physical sign of chronic fluid retention, which is common in people with heart failure. It's not about dry skin or lotion, it's a circulation problem that's visible right on the surface. 12. Numbness or tingling in the feet. Have you ever felt that pins and needles sensation in your feet that just won't go away? Or maybe your toes feel numb, as if they've fallen asleep for no reason. Many seniors brush this off as poor circulation or a side effect of diabetes, but it can also be a sign that your heart isn't sending enough oxygen-rich blood to your nerves. When your heart's pumping power weakens, the blood flow to your lower body slows down. This reduced circulation means that your nerves, especially those in your feet, don't get enough oxygen or nutrients to function properly. As a result, they start to misfire, sending confusing signals to your brain. That's what causes the tingling, burning, or numb sensations you feel. Sometimes, swelling from trapped fluid can also press on the small nerves in your feet, adding to the discomfort. At first, the numbness might come and go, but over time it can become constant, making it harder to feel your shoes, sense temperature changes, or even notice small cuts or injuries. That can be risky, because unnoticed wounds can lead to infections. If your feet often feel numb, tingly, or like they're buzzing, don't dismiss it as a minor issue. It's your body's way of saying your heart and nerves are both under stress. Getting your circulation checked early can help protect not just your heart, but also your mobility and independence, two things that truly define your quality of life. Your legs and feet are more than just what keep you moving, they're powerful messengers that can reveal what's happening deep inside your heart. The swelling, coldness, tingling, or color changes you might notice aren't just part of getting older. They're your body's way of saying, something isn't right. Please pay attention. Your heart works for you every second of every day, it deserves your attention, too. And before you go, tell me in the comments, have you ever experienced any of these symptoms? Type yes if you have, or no if you haven't. Your story might help someone else take that first step toward better heart health.